Hi, everybody. This is GM John Fedorowicz. Welcome to today's Simul, November 26, 2017. Usually, the Simuls on Saturdays, but today we're on Sunday. We should get started shortly. Good luck to the newcomers, and good luck to all my friends who have played before, Ears and Moving Dutchman, and a lot of people we played many times. So good luck to them, and I was following the Grand Prix, and it was, I don't know. I mean, those guys are so strong. Maybe that accounts for why there's so many draws. And Aroni and Yakovenko tied for first with 5.5 out of 9, with half the tournament finishing a little bit, half a point behind with 5 out of 9. It reminds me of a U.S. Championship that I played in 1988. You should look it up. Michael Wilder won the tournament with +2, and Yasser Serouan came in second place with +1, and then I think 11 people tied for third, and I think Lev Albert came in last. So you get these kinds of tournaments, and it's kind of funny the way the results turned out. Okay, so this time we're getting started here. And also, I was following the senior championship. Evgeny Sveshnikov won. He's an old friend from a long time ago, and the younger senior championship was won by Granda Zuniga. So congratulations to them. Okay, let's get started here. Handshakes to everybody. Hello to everybody. Hello to Ears. Hello to Eternal Warrior. I think I'm going to play D4 in all of them today and see how that turns out for me. Jimmy B, J. Russell 2, Mod 16, Moving Dutchman's a tough opponent. Nejmadinov's always playing some gambit. No mercy for you. And once in a lifetime, and rolling through the openings. Let's see what kind of stuff we get here today. Virtuoso, and good luck to Al Lioto also. And let's see, D4 Knight of 64, Virtuoso, Virtuoso, D4 E6 gives me a choice of a French. I think I'm going to stick with the D4 openings today. Dodgy, another Queen's Gambit. Hippopotamus, another Queen's Gambit. Wisebard 7-7, another King's Gambit. Queen's Gambit, sorry, table and chairs. Let's see, maybe we'll get something different. A lot of Queen's Gambits today. A Dutch from Gerrit Corp 7-5, and I think that's his first time playing this Simul, and let's see what Ears comes up with today. I say for the past few months, I've been saying similar things. Ears, all right, Eternal Warrior, D4, B6, and now I will go E4 and switch back to an E4 opening for B6, take control of the center. We have 2 Dutch defenses going. Possibilities for Queen's Indian. Jimmy B I've played D4. He went C5. I'll play D5. Hayen sometimes plays well in the Simuls, but he's got to hang on to his pieces better. Hippopotamus. Dodgy will have a Slav. Or who knows what we get there. Sometimes we get a Botvinnik system or something like that. Table and chairs could be another Queen's Gambit. And let's see what happens with these Dutches. I remember when I was a kid, Tigran Petrosian made me promise him that I would never play a Dutch. And I promised him, and I never played a Dutch, except in a training game against Joel Benjamin, and Joel made me play the Dutch. So that was an interesting thing there. Okay, no mercy for you. We've got an opening with D4, D5, C4, C6, Knight C3, E5. And this is not exactly an Albin counter gambit because his pawn's on C6 first. And I remember something about pawn takes pawn D4. I think maybe Yasser Serouan used to play these kinds of openings sometimes. So with black, very tricky kind of stuff. So we'll see. We'll have to see how that one works out. Let's see what to do there. I think I'm going to take on D5 first. Okay, we got a Namaj 16 and Duke Bishop. So we got a full Simul today. And let's get through these openings. J. Russell, maybe a King's Indian. I I always play the first normal 6 moves against the Dutch. Knight d2 against Eternal Warrior to protect the center with c3. I think is some kind of recommended thing to do. Wisebard, I'll go queen a4 check. Hippopotamus has played a move order in the Queen's Gambit accepted. Jimmy B, looks like we got a check Benoni. And let's see what's going on with these openings here. Looks like Hayen's going for a Hayen's move order today was better than he's been doing. Last month he did another move order, and I think his move order today against the Stonewall is better than playing d5 too early and allowing pawn takes pawn. Now if I play pawn takes pawn, he can capture it with the c pawn on d5, keeping his triangle formation intact, and that's important for defense in that position. So I'm going to fianchetto with g3. Bogo Indian from March 16. Ears another Queen's Gambit. He's doing well. Dodgy, I'm going to chuck my bishop out to g5. Duke Bishop. And now Alalote, and that could be a Tartakover or a Lasker. It's a couple of chances there. Brian Wood, I'm going to play exchange variation. Bishop takes c4 against Hippopotamus. And no mercy for you. I'm wondering if I should go pawn takes pawn here. And then maybe he plays d4. We have to see what the story is with this one. Tricky opening. I think I have to go pawn takes pawn there to try and get an advantage. Let's see what's happening with Hayen. Going to castle against Virtuoso. Nezhmadinov, like I said, always plays some weird opening. Botvinnik system from Dodgy could get exciting. And table and chairs. So we got a lot of normal Queen's Gambits, very solid. Maj has gone c5 in the Bogo Indian, and we got a chance for a few Tartakovers. Queen takes c4 against Wisebard's Queen's Gambit accepted, and Garrett Karp will be another thing. And now Nezhmadinov, we get the expected Albin counter Gambit. E5 against Dodgy. Let's see what the theory is. And now against Virtuoso, I'm going to try D5 to kill his bishop on B7. Exchange variation against Brian Wood. And I'm going to castle against Hippopotamus. A strange move order from Once in a Lifetime who just played knight to D7. Is he threatening E5 already is a good question. If I think he's threatening E5, I'm going to go D5 myself and try to take advantage of some weak squares. Jay Russell looks like a Grunfeld. Eternal Warrior, that's in that B6, 1B6 opening. Alote has gone B6, and now I have to see what to do here. I usually play something. I'm going to try Bishop to D3 and see how we get there. Okay, and No Mercy for You has gone tricky D4, and I'm going to play knight to E4, and his queen's going to come out, and then I'm going to try to take advantage of it. Let's see, Hayen, I'm going to go Bishop F4. He's got a good Stonewall setup. Moving Dutchman, we got a Dutch, so I think the moving Dutchman played a Dutch. So I guess that's no surprise. Let's try B3 against Garrett Karp, see how that goes. King's Indian against Duke Bishop. Nezhmadinov back to the Albin counter Gambit. And Dodgy with the Botvinnik system, which I studied with Kamsky a long time ago. And did a lot of work, but of course the opening has changed a lot since then. Jay Russell, let's see what happens with this Grunfeld. Once in a lifetime. I don't know if I could take advantage of his move order. Let's see what happens here with Hayen. I'm going to go queen to c2. And Jimmy B, let's see what happens with this check Benoni thing. Okay, Duke Bishop, I'm going to try a same-ish. And Alote has gone bishop to b7. So now I'm trying to figure out here. I think I'm going to try bishop takes knight and see what happens there. Knight takes g5 against Dodgy, a temporary peace sack, and that crazy Botvinnik thing. Brian Wood has gone c6. I'll go e3. We got queen check. No Mercy for You is getting his pawn back. And I will go knight to d2 and see what happens there. Hippopotamus has gone bishop b4. I'm going to go a3 and see if he wants to give me the bishop pair. And let's see what to do here against Hayen. I could go, let's see, usually you don't want to go knight takes knight with that knight is on e4. I'm thinking about going e3. I got to make sure nothing funny happens to my bishop. Pawn takes pawn isn't usually a good idea. So I think against Hayen, I'm gonna try h4 to cement my bishop on f4. Jimmy B going through the opening phases of these openings. Pawn takes pawn against Halote. Queen b3 against Jay Russell, pet line in the Grunfeld. b5 from once in a lifetime. What kind of gambit is this? I think that I have to look to see how should I do this now. I have some choices. I have knight to d4 maybe, or should I just go for the straightforward pawn takes pawn? I'm going to try knight to d4 and see how that one looks. Bishop takes knight from Hippopotamus, giving me a strong center, which I'm going to try to use. Cap red, looks like another Grunfeld. And moving Dutchman. Rolling through these openings here. Bishop g5 against Ears, another solid choice from Ears. And now I'm going to go, let's see, e6. Weisbart's playing the opening very well here. And I'm going to try knight to e5 on Weisberg and go after his bishop pair. Okay, let's see now. Hayen has gone knight on d to f6. And I'm going to try knight to e5. I got to be careful. h4, loosen up my king's side a little bit. Okay, Virtuoso has protected his bishop on c8. And I'm going to go knight to c3. Alote has gone e takes d5. And I'm going to go queen to b3. And let's an h6 from Jimmy B. And I will go h3. I'm not sure what h6 was about there. Nezhvedinov, always fianchetto against the Albin counter gambit on e3. There's all kinds of tactical tricks. Castles from Hippopotamus, and I'm going to try bishop d3 and aim at his king's side. Ears has gone h6. Ears is playing the Tartikover. It's a solid choice, always. Okay, let's see. g3 against Dodgy. Knight f6 against Turner Warrior. Protect the center. Bishop d3, try and keep a strong center. Queen b3 against Cap red. And that's a pet line of mine for a long time. Me and my friend John Tisdale from a long time ago were big fans of Oleg Romanishin. And we played that opening a lot. Let me see if I can take care of use my development against No Mercy for You and see how I come out, whether I can come out with this stuff or not. Okay, Maj 16 has gone Queen b6. And I'm going to castle. And now what is going on here at once in a lifetime? He's gone c5. So I have en passants. I have knight e6s. There's a lot of stuff here to think about. The best move for me, I'm wondering if I should just go knight takes b5. And then it looks like a highly unlikely kind of gambit. A knight on e6, there's something to be said for that. But he might be able to get rid of it by just moving his knight. So it's either material getting greedy here and going for some kind of fast decision. I think that knight takes b5 looks like probably the right thing to do there. And just making a normal position. Let's try queen b3 against table and chairs. Bishop g2 against Dodgy. Let's see if we get all the theory going in this opening. That's a strange opening, you know, that Botvinnik system. Moving Dutchman. Hayen is swapping off the knights. Seems like decent idea for him. I'm going to go b4, trying to get a minority attack going. Garakarp has gone b6. I'm going to go knight bd2. c5 against the Samish, a good move. Nobody takes the gambit anymore. I have to not forget to take Dodgy's knight on f6 because he just unpinned. And now let's see what to do against Virtuoso. I think I'm going to try knight to d4 and see if I can put some pressure on him. King h8 from Hippopotamus. And I'm going to try queen to e2. I'm going to make a battery at some point against him and see what I could do. Okay, castle's queen side from Dodgy, and I'm going to castle king side. And moving Dutchman has played an odd move order with with knight c6, and now I'm looking to see if knight e5 messing up his pawn structure is right, or whether I should just go d5 and try to get some of the center. I think I'm going to give d5 a try out there. Okay, knight b6 from once in a lifetime, and I think I'm just going to protect my pawn with b3 and be happy I'm up a pawn. Queen takes d2 from Maj, and I'm going to go rook d1 against Alote and keep. So I have a few Tartakovers going. Okay, now let's see what to do here against No Mercy for You. If I go knight to c4, he comes out, he goes queen b4 check, makes me go backwards. So I'm wondering here if I could just come out fast with g3. I'm going to try to come out fast with g3. Let's see, knight a6 from Jimmy B. I'll just go knight f3. Knight d7 from Wiseguard, and I'll play knight takes d7, saving the pawn structure, e3 against J. Russell. And bishop f6 from Heian, which is a little bit anti-positional if you think about it, because it's actually trading off his good bishop for my bad bishop. So I'm going to take on f6. I think I'm happy to do that trade. I'm going to cancel against Brian Woods. Still most of the games in the opening. Okay, now what is up here with once in a lifetime with playing g5? Can I take that pawn? He's trying to do something to me on the diagonal, I guess. I'm gonna try to take on. Let's see if I take on g5 is his idea knight e4 or something like that. I think I should just play it safe here. I'm gonna retreat my knight back to c3 and just try to come out normally. Okay, let's see from Jimmy B. Now I guess I'm gonna cancel. And bishop b4 check from moving Dutchman. I'm going to trade bishops. And now Hippopotamus, I'm going to try to go e5 and get a fast attack on him. Okay, now what's happening here with once in a lifetime? I'm tempted to sack the exchange, but I think I'll just go bishop to g2 and take my time there and see what happens. Heian, I'm going to go e3, and now I want to see what he's up to. Ears has gone b6. And I'm going to go, and it just switched to table and chairs for some reason. And I just played queen b3, and he's thinking. So let's see. So far, so good. I don't know if I've been tricked yet in any of the openings, which in a simul is a very dangerous thing. And we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Okay, back to the Ears board. Okay, so Ears has just gone b6. And I'm going to go bishop to d3 and c5 from Dodgy, and I go d5. So we're in the big theory. Queen takes d7 from Wiseboard, and I'm going to go bishop to g2. And J. Russell has played e6, and I'm going to go bishop a3 and develop with a tempo. Why not? Okay, now knight a4. Let's see what the Dodgy, if Dodgy's ready for the theory, and we got to see who's up, who's ready for what here. Okay, I'm going to try pawn to b3 against Virtuoso, just developing. And I'm going to go queen to e4 against Hippopotamus. Queen takes d2 from moving against moving Dutchman. And let's see, once in a lifetime, what's the story here? I'm thinking of sacking the exchange. Bishop takes g5, knight e4. What's going on there? I think I'm just going to cancel. And g5 from Heian, and I'm going to take on g5, and then I'm going to try and open them up. Ears, I'm going to play a line I used to play. I think I analyzed it with Joel Benjamin many years ago. f4 from once in a lifetime, getting tricky. And I don't know if I can take this pawn. I think I'm just going to try queen to c2 and develop normally and see how it goes. All right, now I'm going to try to open Heian up here with pawn to b5, get this minority attack going. Queen b5 from Dodgy, and I go a3, try that line out. Queen c takes d4 from Maj, and now I want to see, do I want to go queen takes d4 and get the queens off maybe, or just go knight takes d4 and perhaps be a bit better? I think I'm going to try queen takes d4 against Maj and try and ruin the pawn structure. That's pretty solid play. En passant against Hippopotamus. Knight to f3 against Wiseboard. And castles kingside against Elote. And Nezhmadinov was still only on move 5 in the Albin counter gambit. D3 from No Mercy for You, and I'm going to castle. I'm trying to get development against him. Okay, knight to b8 from Dodgy, and I believe it's pawn takes pawn. Castles against Nezhmadinov, and queen e8 from Once in a Lifetime, and then I'm going to see here, he's going to try to mate me with the queen h5 thing. I'm going to go pawn takes pawn on f4 and see how that one goes. Queen b3 against Ears, and let's see what to do against Hippopotamus here. Do I just want to retreat my queen back to e2, or do I want to? I'm going to try queen to h4. Okay, Brian Wood has gone b6. I'm going to try knight to g3, and let's see what Hayen's doing. He's trying to keep his structure intact. I think I'm going to take on c6 first. Maj has traded queens. a5 against Garrett Karp, and I'm going to put my other knight on f3. Queen h5 from Once in a Lifetime, who's going for the attack here. And I'm going to try pawn takes pawn, and if I get mated here, what can you do? Pawn takes pawn against Moving Dutchman. Pawn takes pawn against Hayen. Let's give him a weak d-pawn, something to shoot for. Turn a warrior. I still have nice center control. And Dodgy, now let's see what to do here. Dodgy has gone knight to b8. I exchanged on b4, and he took back. And then I think I play queen to g4 there. And then he takes, and then you get into big theory. So let's see. Ears, solid position as usual. Knight g4 against Once in a Lifetime, and I go h3. And knight h7 from Jimmy B. What is he up to here? I'm going to go b4. And now let's see what happens with No Mercy for You. I would like to get some development going here. If I go knight c4, do I win a pawn there? I'm going to try knight c4. Eternal Warrior has gone bishop b4. I'm going to castle, get out of the pin. And now let's see how to work on Hayen's d-pawn here. I'm going to try queen to c5 and just go after his pawn right away, see if I can distract him. We have queen to g4, h5 from Hippopotamus, offering a trade of queens. I'm going to try queen to g3 and hit his c7 pawn. See if I could do some work like that. See what happens there. Okay, Wiseboard, I'm going to castle. Maj has gone knight c6. And I think I'm going to try knight to b5 to bother some squares. And Dodgy's playing good theory here. And now I remember there were some games with this. And let me see if I could remember it. I remember a specific game was Anand was playing against Kramnik, and it was a draw. And you never know with these guys if they're making, if it's a pre-agreed draw or something like that, and they're fooling around. Larry Christensen one time had a pre-arranged draw with Anthony Miles where they were fooling around, and then Anand thought Larry played a new move, played it in a tournament game, and lost in 5 moves. It was in a Petrov's or something like that, if I remember correctly. You could look it up. It was kind of unbelievable when it happened. So you got to be careful when you're copying stuff, and these things are always going on. So it's very interesting just there. So that's what happens. And sometimes you get these openings like this thing is pure memory. This the Botvinnik. When I was Kamsky's coach, I helped him in a match against Kramnik. Which was played in New York in 1994, I think, and I helped Kramnik, him against Kramnik, and we did a lot of nice work against with it, and so it's a real it's if you do your homework, maybe you do okay with this opening, but it's a very, very hard opening. Okay, castles, virtuoso, I go bishop to b2, knight e4 from moving Dutchman, and let's see, where should I put my queen? He may be getting some kind of, like, I don't know if knight b4 is ever going to bother me. I'm wondering if I go queen c2, he'll go knight b4, and when I attack it, then he might get a5 and bishop a6. So perhaps I should just go queen back to d1, and then see if I can knock his knights around a little bit. So I'm going to try queen back to d1, and then see if I could take advantage of his knights a little bit. Okay, Gerrit Karp's got knight a6, and lots of maneuvering in this game. I'm going to go knight to d3. Rook takes d5 from Dodgy. Big theory here, bishop takes d5, rook takes d5, and now looks like there's some, maybe bishop e3 could be a good move, something like that here. I thought I remembered something with rook to c1, but then there's rook takes g5, that one, and then h4. I don't think so. So let's give bishop to e3 a try out here and see. All right, I'm going to go pawn takes pawn against Jimmy B and make him take back with the B pawn. I'm developing against Jay Russell. Where should I put my bishop? I think I'm just going to settle for bishop e2. Jimmy B in this lock center type thing. I think rook b1 looks like the right thing to do. And now I have to see against Weisbord. He's gone b5, making a backward pawn. And I have to see, where should I put my queen here? I think I'm going to go queen to b3. And let's see how to develop here against Duke Bishop. And the same-ish, it's always hard because sometimes the knight and the bishop both want to go to e2. So I'm going to try bishop to d3 against Duke Bishop and see how that goes. Okay, so we got knight c6 from Dodgy. Normal move. And now I'm looking at, let's see here, rook to c1 or something like that. Looks like a good move. There's other moves here. Queen e4 is an interesting move. Rook fc1 is the logical move, though, to hit the thing. I'm gonna try queen to e4. Okay, let's see what's going on here with Once in a Lifetime. Once in a Lifetime has just gone bishop to e5, and now, of course, if I take it, I get mated. I get mated. So I have to see, how do I want to approach this situation here? I'm thinking about just going e3. I don't know if does bishop f5 ever bother me. So if I go e3, what's the situation there? I'm going to try e3. This one's gotten a little messier than I thought it would get. So let's see what happens with e3. Rook e8 from Hippopotamus. Am I supposed to go pawn snatching here on c7, or do I need to calm down and just go rook e1 and control the position a little bit? I think I'm going to go for rook e1. Okay, let's see what moving Dutchman is up to here. I'm going to try knight to c3, just develop. I should be able to take advantage of this. It's tricky stuff. Knight c7 from Duke Bishop, and I'm just going to develop with knight to e2. I think I'm happy there. Rook e8 against Brian Wood. I'm going to go knight f5. Rook e7 from Hippopotamus. And now Hippopotamus, I think I'm going to try. Let's see. I keep looking to see if I could trap his queen somehow, but it has a few squares on the queen's side. So I think I'm just going to go bishop to d2 and take it easy there and maybe keep him from developing. Okay, Elote has gone rook to queen to c7. And how's his queen there? I'm going to go bishop to b1. Knight h2 from Once in a Lifetime. And so now he's getting knight f3 check stuff. I'm going to try f4 there. It's turning into an exchange sack. I do have the pawns I snatched, so I have, it's not a total loss as far as material goes. Movement Dutchman has gone bishop to b7, so he's trying to snatch a pawn on c3. And I got to see, how can I stop that from happening? I'm looking at ideas like knight h4 maybe or something like that, and then he might be. So I think I'm going to try knight h4 there and see how that one goes. Okay, d5 against Maj, and I think I'm just going to go pawn takes pawn there. a5 from Weisbord. Uh-oh, now, did Weisbord give me something here? What's going on knight e5? Did Weisbord make a mistake? Let's see what happens there. Okay, we got Hayen has gone rook to d8, and now I have to be careful here. Hayen may be trying to launch some sort of attack. So I should be a little careful about snatching pawns here. What's the right thing for me to play here is a good question. My queen coming to the queen side. All right, I think I'm going to try and snatch a pawn I'm going to try and snatch a pawn on a7 and live dangerously. Let's see what he's up to there. Okay, so we got bishop takes f1. We got once in a lifetime. This game got very crazy all of a sudden, and I'm just going to go bishop takes f1 and see if I could hang on here. Okay, Hayen's going for the attack on the other side of the board there with h5, and now I have to see. I have to be a little careful about this. I'm going to try to get my queen back into some action here. I'm going to go queen back to a5 and time down to the pawn. Ears in knight f8. I'm going to go rook f e8. Pawn to b6 from J. Russell. And I'm going to see here. I could test him maybe with some kind of pins and stuff like that. Not sure how to do that. I think I'm going to try pawn to e4 and then see if I could take advantage of the center. Okay, now Maj has gone e takes d5. I could win a pawn with knight c7. Is he getting any compensation there? I'm trying to figure out. I could take it easy also and just come out with my other knight to c3, try and keep a positional edge. What to do? If the only thing with the knight takes d5 is can he annoy me with something? I think he can. So I'm going to just try knight to d2 and take it easy, come out with the pieces and see what happens. c5 from Nezhmadinov. I'm going to go bishop to b2. Queen back to c7 from Weisbord, and now we got a c. I'm hitting his c6 pawn, and he's hitting my e2 pawn. I'm wondering if I could be greedy here and keep it all with rook to e1 maybe. Bishop to f4 is an interesting one too, and queen c2 maybe piling on some more. I think I'm going to try queen to c2 defending and attacking c6 again. Okay, we got Hayen. Hayen has gone h4, and now I'm going to try to get my queen over there and try to defend. I'm going to go queen c7, see if I can connect my queen. Bishop takes h3 from once in a lifetime, and I'm going to let's see here. This game got seriously out of control. I'm looking to see if I can do queen e2 here. I'm really trying to defend now. I'm gonna try queen to e2 and just try to defend at all costs. Ears was being solid and then played g5. Ears, I'm not so sure about that. In this opening, are we supposed to go nuts like this? This is the question. So we got to see here. What can I do? Should I just play h3 and take it easy? I'm just gonna, or does h3 help him? Does he go g5? If he might go h5. So I have to see here. I'm thinking about e4, but not sure. Queen c2. All right, I think I'm just going to go h3 and slow him down, whatever that is. Okay, now what's happening here to move in Dutchman? I was thinking on moving Dutchman of playing knight to h5. Knight f5, sorry, and I'm not sure what that situation is. So can I castle first? Okay, we got bishop f8, knight f8 from Brian Wood, and I think I'm going to take that bishop on e7 and see if I could do some business with that. Okay, I'm rook to e1, rook on a to d1 against J. Russell, b6 from Hippopotamus, and now against Hippopotamus, I'm thinking now, let me give knight e5 a try out now. Still trying to trap his queen. It would be nice if I could get some queen trap business going there. Okay, Brian Wood, I think I'm going to go queen f3 and threaten to maybe ruin his pawn structure. I'm not so 100% sure about that, but maybe. Okay, let's see against Wiseboard. Can I snatch a pawn on c6? I might get pinned a little bit, but I'm threatening bishop check at the moment. I think I'm going to try to snatch that pawn on c6. Okay, Cap Red has gone knight takes d5, and now I'm going to get my bishop out before playing e3, go bishop g5. Okay, Virtuoso's gone g6, protecting his pawn, and I'm going to play, looking around here to see what's the deal. I think I'm looking at e3, I'm looking to see where should my queen go. I'm going to try queen to c2. All right, so the Maj game has just become positional. I didn't snatch a pawn. I was worried about attacks on c2 and a2 if I snatched the pawn. So now I'm going to just try to play positional here and use the d4 square. Okay, queen h4 from once in a lifetime. And now what is happening here? I'm looking to see if I can go if I go queen h2. He has all kinds of things to do there, so I'm going to try queen to if I go queen f2, he does some checks, trying to really cover up here, and it's not going to be easy. I got to keep an eye on sacrifices also. So this one got completely out of control. Maybe bishop takes, and then queen g2 is the right way to try it. And see if I could just come out with the pieces. Okay, Jay Russell's going queen c8. I'm going to go rook to e1. Rook takes e5 against Hippopotamus. f4, Heian is going for it. He's sacrificing a pawn, and now I have to see, can I take this pawn? Where will he go afterwards? And what should I take it with? If I take it with the f pawn, how can I? Then I have to get out of the way of stuff. Is he bothering me on the file? All right, I'm going to try to take it with the f pawn and see if I could then get out of the way and maybe use the g file. Maybe get out of the g file. Now what is Cap Red doing? He just gave me a pawn on b7. It feels like something I should take. But I'll admit to being a little scared of snatching pawns in these games where there's not a lot of time to think. So he might have some tactics there. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna chicken out and go just play e3 there. But that probably was a pawn I should have taken, and who knows? All right, let's see what's happening here. I'm just gonna pester once in a lifetime with queen trades all over the place and see if I could get out of it like that. Bishop to d6 from Wiseboard, and now I have to make sure that I'm not getting all pinned up here. I'm looking at bishop to g5, and just to develop, maybe get another rook over to c. Get some rook over there, or should I just unpin myself right away with queen to d3 maybe? And then I have to make sure that he doesn't have some funny stuff there. So I don't know if this was that safe what I did. Bishop d2, he might be able to snatch on e2, so I want to be careful about that. So what do I do here? I don't know about queen to d1 is a strange looking thing. So how should I unpin myself here against Wiseboard? I'm going to try bishop to g5 and see how that goes. Okay, so Jimmy B has recaptured on g5 with the pawn, and now I have to see is he trying for some attack with g4? Should I just stop it? I think I'm just going to go bishop e2 and keep an eye on things. Okay, we got queen g4 from Heian, and I'm going to go king h2 and get out of the way. Maybe I could turn the g file around on him a little bit. Who knows? Okay, we got e5 from Virtuoso. Seems like the right move. And then the board switched to bishop to b1. And Alote is moving very fast in this game, and it's a normal position. All right, let me go. Let me go. So, Elote says he's having Windows problems. I don't know. It seems like everything is okay. I'm just going to go looking here. Brian Wood has gone bishop back to b7, and now I have the opportunity to wreck his pawn structure. Do I want to? Now, let's see if I can make him worry about it a little more and just go rook to e1. Maybe I can gain time from him. Okay, Virtuoso has gone e5. That's a good move. And now I have to see, do I want to go e5 or do I want to go knight to b5, stuff like that. I think I'm going to try knight to b5 on him and see if I could use some squares there. Knight a5 from J. Russell, and I'm going to play queen back to b1 and defend my pawn. Okay, now I'm sorry about this. I'm really going to pester this once in a lifetime for queen trades, and if he becomes a draw, what can I do? Because I just kind of messed up the opening, and that was the story with that. All right, let's see how to bother Hippopotamus here. Thinking about dropping in with bishop to g6. Why not? Okay, let's put bishop g6 in and see. I don't know if I'm going to come out with any mates and this kind of stuff. Let's see. Jimmy B has gone g6. So is he trying to go f5? I think I'm just going to go bishop to d2 and develop. Queen a5 from Cap Red. And I figured he was up to something like that. That's your Cambridge Springs type cheapo there. You get like a bishop takes f3, and then the bishop is hanging over there on g5. So Cambridge Spring cheapo, I'm going to see if I can move my bishop back and live through this. Knight d5 against Weisbord. And now he's pinning me. And I'm going to see if I could go rook on f to c1 and get out of it and just protect myself and get out of the pin. Okay, now Maj has gone rook on a to c8. And I'm going to try, I think, some rook is going to c1 here. Which one should it be? Or do I want to put a knight on d4 first? I think I'm going to put my f rook on c1. All right, what's happening here with Hippopotamus? Can I set up any sacrifices or anything like that? I think I'm going to go rook to e1 and try to keep him tied to his e-pawn. Might be a snatchable pawn. Eternal Warrior's gone d6. I'm going to go rook e1 and protect. And now we have to see what Heian is up to here. Heian has just attacked my queen, and I would like to keep my queen on the queen side, so I'm going to try queen to e5 and see if I can maybe trade queens on g5 or something like that. Let's see, knight e4 from Garakorp, and I'm going to put my F knight now goes in. This is your typical Dutch, moving those knights back and forth. C5 from J. Russell, and I'm going to go bishop to b5 just to see if I can if I'm bothering his rook at all. And d6 from Virtuoso, and now I have to see. The usual idea here in these things is to try and drive his knight away from c5. So how to do that? So I'm going to try a3 and see if I could get on with that. Bishop to d7 from Hippopotamus. And I'm looking for tricks here. I think I'm going to try pawn to c4 and see if I could get my bishops going. c5 from Garakorp. I'm going to take on c5. Bishop g6 from Weisbord with a pin idea. And now I have to see, can I just move my queen out of the way, or do I want to go e4? With pins all over the place. Very interesting. Let's see. I think I'm going to try queen to d1 and see if I could get some action. Okay. Brian Wood seems to be making me take on f6, which I will. Queen b4 from Cap Red, offering a queen trade on b4. And I guess the queens are going to get traded. I don't know. I'm wondering if I could go queen to c. I'm going to try queen to c2 and maybe gain some time on his queen. Let's see how that one's going to work. Okay, we got rook fd8 from Maj 16. And now against Maj, I'm thinking of, I'm going to try knight on f to d4 and see if I could get the typical business going. All right, what's happening here against Weisbord? Can I snatch another pawn? Somebody hanging on a5. Let me try that. I'm going to take another pawn. Eternal Warrior's gone knight to d7, and now I have to see, can I hassle him somehow here with knight c4. Does it do anything? Pretty interesting stuff. I don't know if I'm coming out fast here. Let's see. I'm gonna try knight to c4. I'm looking out for e5 ideas too, but he might have takes, knight takes if I go e5 too soon. Also, I could just take it easy here and just go knight f3. I think I'm just going to take it easy and go knight f3. We might get some weird thing that resembles a French sometimes. Okay, rook to d8 for Jay Russell. And what's happening here now? I think I'm going to protect my my pawn with bishop to b2. Bishop doesn't look so hot there. Jimmy B has gone f5. And I was thinking of just playing f3 to slow him down. And I'm looking to see if any g4s are happening. I think I can go f3 and slow him down. c5 from Cap Red. And now I'm looking to see Cap Red if I could come out real fast with bishop to b5 check. And see what that situation is. If I play queen a3, he could drop back to a5 and it's still pinned. So I'm looking, if I go bishop to b5 check, how does that work? Where will he go? So let me go bishop to b5 check. Pawn takes c3 from moving Dutchman. I'm going to take back on c3. Let's see. Queen g8 from Hippopotamus. And I'm going to try bishop to b4. If you can't mate the guy's king, you could try to mate the guy's rook. Okay, we got moving Dutchman has gone back with knight a6. And now I'm looking to see, do I have any tricks here? I don't know. I'm thinking about some kind of. I don't know if d6 does anything, or if I do queen d3s, he might castle. So I'm e4 to just go after him, and if he takes it, I don't know if there's any queen checks, and then he goes g6. So it's a little messy. For some reason, I like d6. I'm not sure why, and I'm not even sure how it works, to tell you the truth. All right, I'm going to try d6. Strange-looking move, but we'll see what happens. Okay, knight a5. Wise part, I seem to have snatched some pawns, and now I'm just going to try and play safe. I'm going to go knight to b3, protect my stuff, and play safe. Okay, Ears has moved his bishop off of c8, and I'm going to try pawn to e4 and see if I could open Ears' position up. Okay, knight e5 has happened from Dodgy, and now let's see what to do here on knight e5. What sort of moves do I have here? What is he up to? I'm thinking of just snatching on a7. That might help me with some knight b6 ideas. What else is, I'm making sure he has no way to chase my queen off of there, so I'm going to snatch a7 and see if I can bother him. Knight c6 from Cap Red. And I'm going to castle against Cap Red and see what happens here. Still trying to play for development. A6 from Jay Russell all the way back to f1 for me. Pawn structure against Brian Wood. Bishop takes g2 from moving Dutchman. I go king takes. And rook back to e8 from Hippopotamus. And I'm going to take his rook with my bishop. Okay, Duke Bishop, I'm going to go queen to d2. And against Hayen, what's happening here? Hayen is going after me, but I don't know what's happening. If I go rook to g1, do I have a lot of threats? Rook to g1. I'm gonna against Hayen, and let's see how many threats there are there. Okay, castle's queenside from moving Dutchman. I did not expect that. Now I'm looking at queen to d3 to snatch on f5. I'm looking at c7. My king should be safer than his. I'm going to try to take on c7 and see how that one goes. Okay, Maj has gone a6. I'm going to go knight takes c6. I won the exchange against Hippopotamus, and now what is my next thing to do is to try and open up my bishop on c3 maybe. So let's get that guy back to c3. See if I can open him up. Now, Jay Russell has locked it with c4. That's usually not a good thing to do in the Grunfeld. The Grunfeld's more of like an active opening. So I'm surprised about that. So I'm going to go bishop to c1 and get my bishop back. That makes sense. Okay, now moving Dutchman's gone knight takes c7. I think I'm looking at stuff like queen to d3, hitting his pawn to see what's he up to here. Or I think I'm just going to return my knight back to f3 and use that square and see if I can be better there. All right, against Brian Wood, g takes f6. I'm going to go pawn to b4 and get the minority attack going. Ears has gone bishop to e6, and I think I'm going to go e5. And knight back to a6 from Virtuoso. At least I got his knight to go backwards. And now I'm looking to see when can I open him up with e4 type of stuff. That's a good question. I'm wondering about bishop h3 type things, or maybe even f4. I think I'm going to give f4 a try out here. Although then is knight g4 anything to worry about? Sometimes you got to keep an eye on these squares. So let's see. Should I go e4 or should I go? I'm going to try bishop to h3 against Virtuoso. See what happens there. Okay, Jay Russell is going on b5, and now he's going to try to pry me open on the other side at some point. But the thing is, the prying takes longer than the other thing. Okay, what's happening here with Maj? If I go knight to a7 and take c6, do I get pinned up and lose a piece? So I will have to go back with my knight then. And I'm just going to go knight back to d4 and see if I can play positionally there. Okay, moving Dutchman. I think I'm going to go a4 and do the pawn storm thing that people do. Seems like probably the right thing to do. Queen a4 against Jimmy B. Try to work on his queen side. Ears. I think against Ears, let's see what to do here. I think I'm going to try to maneuver my knights around. I think I'm going to try knight to e2. And see if I can get over there. King h7 from Hippopotamus. And this is where I wanted to go d5 and trade everybody. Let's see if that works. Okay, Virtuoso's gone queen d8. Now I'm going to try e4. Moving Dutchman has locked me up with a5, and I'm going to try rook to b1. Rook takes against Hippopotamus. Rook takes bishop. Bishop takes c6 check against Cap Red, must do it. And now what's happening here against Garrett Karp? So what's the way to put pressure on the center? I think I'm just going to go e3 and protect my center. Now Maj, I'm going to try knight to b3 to make him go backwards, maybe with his pawns. Ears has gone queen to d7, and I'm keeping an eye on stuff here, and I'm thinking about, well, I don't know, queen c2. Am I walking into the c file? That's the question. Am I walking into the c file if I go queen c2? And I think I'm just going to go knight to g3 and see if that's going to bother him. Okay, rook c8 from Eternal Warrior, and now I'm looking at stuff like bishop g5 to pin him a little bit. All right, let's try that. Let's try to come out fast. Now, what's going on here against Hippopotamus? I'm looking at pawn takes pawn on d5. Seems like that could be a sensible thing to do. We got knight b4 from Garrett Karp, and I don't think I want to take on b4 and open up the a file, so it looks like I'm just going to go a3. H5 from moving Dutchman, and I'm going to try. Okay, now I could offer him a queen trade just about any time on d4, which he probably has to take, and that might give me a good pawn structure. Is that what I want to do, though? I feel with his king a little open that there should be something to do, but it doesn't look so easy. Maybe doubling rooks or something. So I'm gonna try first rook to h1. And slow him down a little bit. Okay, so we got Alote went rook ac8, protecting his queen maybe against some threats. And I'm just going to continue to develop with rook fe1. Cap Red has exchanged on c3. I take back. Knight to d6 from Hippopotamus. And I'm going to try rook now hold on here. If I go rook to the 7th, what's going on there? Rook to the 7th, and then he goes knight f5. Does that do anything? All right, I'm gonna go rook to e7 and try for a fast win in that game. Okay, Nejmadinov has gone bishop e7, and I will go. I'm thinking about going e3 here, or I'm going to try e3. It's a sharp move. Knight f5 forking me from Hippopotamus, and I go queen to d3 and pin his knight. Knight to d7 from Maj. And now I'm looking to see what can I do here. Do I want to double rooks? Let's say I go rook. I'm going to try rook to c2 and see if I can put pressure over there. Bishop takes a7 against Dodgy, and Dodgy went knight to d7. And now I have to see. I'm thinking of playing rook to c1. How does he protect his c pawn there? Very messy position, typical of this opening. Okay, Cap Red has gone queen to c4. And now I'm trying to see what sort of moves do I have here. Knight to d2 ideas. Get rid of his queen. Have to be careful. He can't castle because e7 is hanging. So how do I want to do this? I think I'm going to try knight on c4 back to d2 and see if I could harass him a little bit. Okay, what's happening with Virtuoso? Knight to d4. I'm going to open him up first. I'm going to take on f5. King to h8 from Hippopotamus, and now he seems to have a lot of pieces hanging. The most accurate move must be rook takes d7. That has to be the best. Okay, now against Virtuoso, should I be going bishop takes g4 here? And how do I open him up? Queen e2 doesn't look bad either. I'm thinking just about bishop takes and then knight to e4, but then maybe that other bishop comes back. So have to see here what is the right way to do this. I'm going to try rook on c to e1 to protect the e3 square, and then see if I can maybe try some f6 stuff. Got to try and open him up. Okay, now looks like Hippopotamus should be done after rook takes g7. A little bit of a careless opening there from Hippopotamus. Pawn takes c3 from Dodgy. I'm not sure what's happening to Dodgy here. It looks like Dodgy's position might have gotten dodgy. Now, let's see what's happening here at Virtuoso. Can I go f3 and send them backwards? Okay, a5 from Elote, and the big deal for me here is when do I want to go? When do I go e4? Do I go e4 now? All right, I think I'm ready. My pieces look in the middle, and now I'm going to try e4. Queen a5 from Hippopotamus. There goes Hippopotamus's queen. She's got a queen for a knight. Rook a d8 from Ears, and now I'm looking to see. I'm thinking queen c2 here. His rook moved once, so let me go queen c2. Or do I? Yep, queen c2 looks decent. And now Hippopotamus, if I don't hang my queen, I'm probably going to win. So I'm going to try queen to c2. Queen to c3 check. Looks even better. And then snatch that pawn and try to play safe after that. Okay, g5 from Eternal Warrior. I don't know if that's in with his position of playing solidly. Queen c6 from Dodgy. And Dodgy is up to no good here. You could just feel it, and you know it's the usual business with rook to d1 check, winning my queen. Okay, so how do I stop that and still make some nice threats here and defend everybody? Knight b6 check. I don't think that. I don't know what that does. So Dodgy wants to go rook d1, rook takes, and take my queen. If I go king to g2, I have to make sure that everybody stays on that diagonal. So I'm really not sure what to do here. Maybe I should just do simply rook e1 and protect everybody. I'm just going to try rook to e1 and protect my queen and try to be safe about this. Okay, Jimmy B's gone queen to c8. And now I have to see what to do here. Does he have any threats? I'm gonna go rook to b3 for some defense on one side, maybe on the other side a little bit of offense. Okay, now let's see what to do here against Virtuoso. I'm going to try pawn to f4. That feels like the right thing to do there. Castles against Duke Bishop. Against rook e8 from J. Russell, he moved his rook, and I'm going to try queen to c1 and maybe get some bishop trade going. Okay, queen takes c7 against Hippopotamus, and now let's see what moving Dutchman is up to. He's protected his rook, his rank, the b6 pawn, and I'm wondering at what moment should I offer a queen trade on d4. I just hate to do it because my king is safer, so I don't know if it makes sense to do that. All right, I'm going to try c4. Maybe I could try to pry him open first. Controversial move from Maj, playing d4, c4, giving me a very nice square for my knights. And now we have to see what happens here against Cap Red. Cap Red, we're trying to bother him with some squares. I'm wondering about Cap Red's bishop here. He's going to have to maybe try bishop e2 to get his bishop out of there. Can I go h3 and then he goes bishop e2, rook there? Where will his bishop go? Interesting business. I think I'm going to try knight to b3 first and see if I could harass him on the c5 square a little bit. Okay, now we got Virtuoso. We got him to play e4. And now I'm going to put my knight on e3 and do that trade. Hippopotamus, I'm taking more pawns. Let's see what happened here with Hayen. Hayen, I have bishop takes d5. I think Hayen, I've just traded off everybody, and it looks like a winning position for me. And we'll have to see how that one goes. Okay. Alote has gone rook fe8, and now I have to see, is there any way to get some more pressure on him here? I'm going to try a3. You never know when you can come from the other side. Okay, Cap Red has taken on d4, and I'm just going to take. Well, it's a good question here. Should I take back with the e? I could take back with the c pawn and keep my people all together, or I could take back with the e pawn and go for the threat on the e file. I don't know. I think it makes more sense to take with the c pawn and just be patient about it. Okay, moving Dutchman has gone queen c6, pinning me. And then he's probably up to something with g5 maybe. So I have to see what to do here. I'm wondering about pawn sacks. c5 pawn sack. I don't know. All right, I'm going to try the c5 pawn sack and see. Okay, what's happening here with Hayen? I'm going to take Hayen's queen. And am I winning material there? Queen b7 from Wiseboard, and now with Wiseboard, I have to see, is e4 going to be, I'm trying to win material here. I'm going to try e4 against Wiseboard and see if I can win some material here. Okay, we got bishop f6 from Nejmadinov, and I'm just going to go pawn takes d4. And now Hippopotamus, I'm just going to go queen check and make another queen. If he doesn't want to resign, I think I'm happy with that. Okay, what's happening here with Dodgy? What happens if I just go knight takes c3 against Dodgy? And he goes queen c3 and I go rook c1. Does that pin his queen? I'm just going to try knight takes c3 against Dodgy and see what happens there. All right, I'm going to make another queen against Hippopotamus. Rook takes e5 from Hayen. And what's the right way for me to do this? Lots of stuff is hanging here. I think I should go rook takes h4 check. Nejmadinov has gone c takes d4, and then I'm going to go knight to d2. I think my position is okay there. What's happening with Eternal Warrior here? I feel like his king is over for a while. I think I'm going to take it easy here and just go h3 and make everybody safe. I think Hayen is gone downhill here. Queen takes h4 against Hippopotamus, and let's see what to do here with Virtuoso. He's brought his knight back. I feel like I'm starting to get some squares here on him. The question is when will knight d3 ever bother me? That's what I'm wondering here. So let's see. If I go knight to d4 first, I'm going to go knight to d4 first and see if I could harass him a little bit. a4 from from Garrett Karp. Looks like a decent move. Now I got to see what to do to him here. Getting some play against my center. I don't know. I'm not sure what to play here. I don't want to take on d5. Then his passed pawns might go out of control. I think I'm just going to try rook ad1. Maybe later on try and get some pressure on the d file. Rook e7 from Alote, and now what's happening here? Maybe he doubles sometimes on the c file. I'm gonna try queen to c2, and castles from Cap Red, and I'm gonna go knight to c5. And what should I do here against Hayen? I got all kinds of things to do. I think I should take his rook and then get my passed pawns going. Okay, now what happens against Weisbord? Does e5 just win? And let's see, and Hippopotamus is still going. And let's see what to do here against Maj. Maj is trying to trade on c6. So I got to see, what do I want to do here? I'm thinking of I'm going to try e4 to break up his structure. Knight takes d5 from Hippopotamus. Queen takes d5. f4 against Jimmy B, but that's locking it. And then I'm going to just try to get in on the b file. Okay, we got the sacrifice of moving Dutchman. And then I'm going to go rook to c1. And now against Cap Red, what's happening here? I'm looking at double attack move, queen to e4. Let's give that a try. Looks decent. Knight to d3 from Virtuoso. And I'm going to go knight to c6. And Hippopotamus, I think I'm just going to make queens. And Nejmadinov went knight d3, but I think he missed queen e2. And now let's see what Moving Dutchman is up to here. Moving Dutchman's gone queen to b4. And now I got to see how it feels like I should have some good stuff going here. How do I make an attack here is a good question. Queen to d3 type of stuff, knight to d4 maybe. I'm gonna try knight to d4. And I'm going to make queens against Hippopotamus. And let's see what to do here. Rook c8 against Ears. And I think I'm going to go knight to h5. And Hippopotamus still making queens. King to b8 from Moving Dutchman. And this is a tricky move. I thought I was winning the exchange, but I'm not, because he's got queen e4 check at the end. So I'm gonna see if rook h4 does anything for me. And if I go rook h4, what's happening there? Yeah, all right, I'm gonna try rook h4. Got Nejmadinov to go backwards. Now, does f4 win a piece, or does he have some way out of that? I think that f4 looks like it wins a piece. G6 from Alote, and looks like a normal move for him, and his position looks okay. I'm going to switch. I'm going to go bishop to a2 now that his pawn went to g6. Knight takes e1 from Virtuoso. And let's see what's going on here now. I was going to take on e7 and then try queen c3. I don't know if that's going to work. All right, I'm going to take on e7 first with check and then see if I can bother him on the diagonal. All right, Hippopotamus, I just do not want to stalemate him. Okay, Maj, I'll take a bishop on e6. Rook takes e1 from Virtuoso. And let me mate Hippopotamus with my two queens. Okay, we got Moving Dutchman playing queen to d6. And now let's see here. His king is surprisingly safe. My pawn structure is a little better. I don't know. I don't know if I should go knight to f5. I think I'm going to try knight to f5 and see if I can work on his pawns. Okay, knight to f6 from Jimmy B. And I think I'm going to go rook to b7 and see if I could harass him down there. Now, Cap Red, Knight takes e6 really messes up his pawn structure, so I'm going to try it. And let's take the pawn back against Maj. Okay, we got Nezhmadinov has gone d3, and I just have to move my queen somewhere. I'm going to move my queen to e4. I don't see any big threats with that, so queen e4 looks good. The other move would have been good too. Now let's see here. The Jimmy B position is very locked, and what's my plan here? I got to make sure I don't hang anything. I think I'm going to try. I don't know how can I try to get my queen back first. And so I'm going to see if I could just go knight back to d1, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe double or triple on the file or something. Also, where's a good place for my knight? Should my knight be heading towards should it be on f2? I'm going to first, it's such a locked position, I might be able to maneuver a lot, so I'm going to go knight d1 first. Okay, queen takes c6 from Dodgy. Sorry, rook d6 from Dodgy, and now what's happening here? I feel like I should move my bishop back and just make a position there. That looks okay. Queen e7 from Ears, and let's see what to do with Ears. I think I'm going to go queen d2 and try to get out of the way of stuff and just go slow here. I mean, it's now Cap Red's pawn structure has taken a turn for the worse. So do I just want to go rook to c1 and start to double and triple? And which rook should I do? I'm going to do the A rook. Okay, now we got Jay Russell has gone knight c6, bringing his knight back. I'm going to go bishop h6, hippopotamus. I finally mated him. And let's see what to do here against Alote. Bishop g7 he went, and I'm going to try knight to g5, working on that f7 square. g5 from moving Dutchman. And so now I could take my pawn on back by taking on h6. I'm not so sure about that. I would rather take the pawn back in a better way. Can I go? I'm going to try rook. Let's see if I go rook to d4. What is he going to do? Rook to d6. All right, I'm gonna try rook to d4 and see if I can bother his pawns. Okay, bishop takes g7 against Jay Russell must be right. What to do here against Maj? Move the bishop back. I'm going to try rook to e1. Try to pressure those two pawns. Okay, Dodgy has gone knight takes f6. And now I'm looking to see, is there any way for me to keep queens on? It's a good question. Trading queens, and I'm up a pawn, but all right, I'm going to trade the queens. There's not a lot of stuff left on the board. Okay, this game, once in a lifetime. Back to this game. This is the game where I'm trying to chase his queen all over creation here because he's got all kinds of tricks. So I'm going to try. Now, I cannot go queen e2. So this game really was not one of the better things because his opening was bad, and I had all kinds of choices there. So this one, I'm going to just try to go bishop d2 and see if I could come out of this somehow. Okay, let's see what to do against Jay Russell. Jay Russell, I have ideas. d5. Pawn takes b4 seems reasonable. That seems like the right thing to do. Okay, let's see. Moving Dutchman has gone rook h7. And now I want to see, how do I put pressure on him here? Rook to d6, rook to b1. All right, I'm going to try rook to d6, see if I can put pressure. Rook h5 from once in a lifetime. And let's see, what's he threatening here? Is he threatening? All right, so I'm going to do the only thing I could do. I'm going to try to develop with my knight on a3 and see if I can get out of this. Okay, we got Cap Red has gone rook ac8, and I'm going to try rook c5. Work on those pawns. Okay, once in a lifetime is now getting some rook takes g5 stuff going. So now I have to see. I'm going to go. He's got a lot of things happening here. I'm going to try Queen to I still can't go queen to e2, and he's got rook to g5. I think this one is some kind of big trouble here. So let's see what to do. I'm going to try queen to g2, and if it doesn't work, adios. Okay, let's see what to do here against Donji. His king is not in such a good shape here. I don't know. I mean, knight b4 is a fork, but does it do anything? I'm gonna try knight to b5. Larry Christensen would be proud of me with the fork. Larry's always doing forks. He would be very proud that I just went for a fork. And let's see. All right, against Ears, I'm going to take on f6. It seems like I should be positionally better there. Let me see what to do against Jay Russell here. I'm going to try getting tricky on him with queen to c3 and see if I can make some attack on him. Okay, we got Cap Red has gone bishop to f6, and I'm going to go bishop to g3. I really like my pawn structure there. Now, what's happening here at Moving Dutchman? Is his knight going to wind up on a8? Can he be happy about that? Rook there, and now let's see what's happening here. King h8 from Once in a Lifetime. And it's the first time that I've almost felt normal about this position. Let's see. I'm thinking of going, I'm thinking of going rook to f1. Rook takes g5. Does that do anything for him? So let's see. Rook takes g5. And he might have some tricks there, so I got to be careful about that. Rook takes g5, queen takes g5. And then he wins my queen, and I don't think I got enough stuff there, so gotta look out for that. So what is the right move for me here then? I'm really afraid of this rook takes g5 stuff. I'm gonna try rook f1. I gotta give it a try no matter what happens. Gotta see. Okay, what's happening here with Cap Red? I'm gonna go rook to c1 and harass his pawns. Knight to e5 against Ears. And now against Alote, it looks like I got some nice stuff going here. Can I just go knight takes f7 and start to work on the pins? And now what's happening here with okay, I'm looking for sacrifices against Eternal Warrior to open them up. E5 is not really opening up. I'm thinking about D5. I'm gonna try D5 just to see if I could get towards his king somewhere. Okay, Once in a Lifetime has gone rook to G8, and I'm gonna protect with knight to E4. And am I alive here? I don't know. And if I am alive, it's a real miracle. A5 from Jay Russell. And I'm going to go A3. Let me have the piece against Nejmadinov. Bishop F6 for Once in a Lifetime. And now it starts to feel a little better for me. Let me see what I should do. Knight G3 looks like a nice one, no? Let's see Knight G3. Okay. Cap Red has gone King F7. Is that a pawn on C6 I should snatch? Is there any reason I shouldn't snatch it? I'm going to snatch it. Let's see what Rook C4 from Donji. And this is some mess with this opening. Now, I got Rook A7 stuff. I can do Rook A7s with checks if I want. But somehow if I go Rook A7, is that bothering him? Or what's the deal? Also, Bishop to D4. Bishop to D4, how does he protect everybody? I'm going to try Bishop to D4 and see how that looks, and then see if maybe I could capture him while he's doing this. Okay, Virtuoso, this game turned into an inadvertent exchange sack, but I don't know. Maybe it could be okay. Who knows? I'm going to try Queen to C3 and see if I can get in there and bother him. Yeah, I know. Telephone calls during the game. What can you do? And okay, let's see what to do here with Moving Dutchman. I'm thinking of going rook to G6 and harassing some pawns and seeing what I could do there. Now, I like what's going on with Eternal Warrior. I'm going to try knight to D2 and do some maneuvering. Okay, Cap Red's getting a little fancy here with this E5 move. So it's got some back rank situations will happen. If I trade off all the rooks, he's threatening Queen C1. But what happens if I take with the pawn? If he trades, I could take back with the queen. I think I'm going to do that. Okay, that looks good. Knight to D3 from Jay Russell. He went in there, and now I was looking to see if I could go E5. I think I'm just going to take on D3, and maybe it's a pawn. Whoa, we got once in a lifetime has gone rook takes G5. And what the heck's going on here now? I'm going to go pawn takes G5. I seem to be up a piece against Nezhmadinov. A little bit of time pressure, but not so bad. So what is my next thing to do here? I'm going to try rook to F3 and see if I could take some stuff. All right, now, knight F6 from Elote, and I got to see what is a good continuation for me here. I can maybe just go knight check and knight E6 and win material. Any mate threats anywhere. Knight G5. Okay, I think I'm just going to go for knight G5 check and try and win material. Okay, now, what happened here with Camp Red? Camp Red has gone rook to D8, but I see E6 check. And that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Okay, now, what's happening here with once in a lifetime? I finally reached a safe position. And can I just go queen takes F1, or can I go king takes F1? There's a lot of decent moves here. I'm surprised I made it this far, and really more than a little lucky here to have this happen. I'm going to take back with a knight and go for total safety. G4 from moving Dutchman, and now how can I bother him here? Let's see. Knight D6 check. I don't know if it does anything. He gets to protect all his stuff. And let's see what to do here. I kind of got him tied up a little bit, but I don't know. Am I supposed to go after his H-pawn? Or knight D6 check? Where does his king go? I'm going to try knight D6 check and see maybe I can maneuver my knight somewhere. Okay, let's see what happens here. We got bishop E5 from once in a lifetime. And now what do I do here to be very safe? Looks like I'm going to try knight to C2. Let's get those knights over there. Rook to G8 from Virtuoso, and I'm going to go knight to E3. With good, I mean, he might have good defense here. And let's see, King A7 from moving Dutchman. And I'm going to, let's see, what do I try here? I'm going to try, do I try rook to B5 to go after his pawns? What's the story here? Rook to G5 to go after his pawns. Knight C4 maybe. Knight C4, does he have to go rook to B8? That might be a nice thing. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Nezhmadinov down a piece. Against once in a lifetime, I guess I'm going to go knight to E1 and just get my pieces over there and hopefully win the game. Okay, now, Duke Bishop, it feels like he's threatening something. I'm going to go bishop to G5. Let me take on D3 against Jay Russell, up a pawn. Garrett Karp has gone rook FD8. Looks like a good move, lining me his rook up on my queen, going for some tactics. And now I got to see, I think I'm just going to go queen back to C2. Duke Bishop's gone queen F8, and I'm going to go king to H1, playing it safe there. Against Elote, I'm just going to win the exchange. I think I'm just going to go knight there, knight to E6, and win the exchange. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Against once in a lifetime, knight to F3, and that was a game I did not expect to win, and it looks like maybe it will be a win. Rook takes D3 against Nezhmadinov. F5 from Jay Russell. So we got to see what do we do about this? I'm going to take on F5. We got once in a lifetime's bishop to go backwards, and now I have to see. My position got very safe. Can I try to mate him now? get greedy with something like queen to h3. Knight d7 from Maj 16. And I'm going to see if I can work on his pawns there. I'm going to go bishop g2, bishop f5 from Ears. The only thing about Ears' position is it felt like it got a little loose there. d5 from moving Dutchman, and now we got to see he's up to something here with pins and stuff. So I cannot take on b6 because of rook pins. So I'm going to go knight e5. I'm getting ready. I'm going to double rooks on the e-file against Ears. And we got once in a lifetime is taking pawns, and I'm going to try to go g6 and mate him. Nejmadinov is snatching pawns to get some stuff back. And I'm just going to play bishop to d4. I'm going to play d5 against J. Russell, try and get a knight into e6. Let me have that rook against Elote. And h6 from once in a lifetime, and now we got to see. I'm going to go e4, still trying to mate him. Eternal Warrior went knight to c5. Now, do I like the bishop at top of colors? No, I'm just going to go bishop c2 and keep it. We got a very nice move, knight c5 from Maj, and now I got to see what's the deal here. I think I'm just going to go do I want to go h4 or h3? I'm going to go h4. Sometimes it's too much air. And now what's happening here, queen takes b3 from once in a lifetime, and I'm going to snatch another pawn on h6. Hope that's mate. Let's see what's happening here with Elote. Do I want to go knight g5 again or knight e5? I'm going to go knight g5. Maybe trade off more stuff. We got a piece sacrifice from Jimmy B. Did not expect this. And what's the deal here? All right, I'm going to take it. And then I'm going to see if I could run. Knight and maybe queen takes. Got to see what to do there. He gets some checks. I have knights to block with and bishops. Maybe it's okay. Simon's been going for about an hour and a half, and let's. I think I won a couple already. Bishop d4 check from once in a lifetime, and I will go bishop to e3 discovered check. King up, and I will go queen h7, or, well, hold on here. I should not jump so fast, but queen h7 seems to be mate, doesn't it? Okay, looks like that was a mate. Bishop h4 against Duke Bishop. Okay, now, Jimmy B, let's see. I could have three pieces here. Let me see. Do I want to take, but if I give the three pieces, he gets a rook f7 tempo. So do I want to go, if I go knight to f2, what's the story there? All right, I'm going to go knight to f2. Try to defend a little bit. Let's see what's happening against Maj. When can I start running around my rooks is a good question. I don't know. If I go rook to c1 or something. All right, I'm going to try bishop to f1 to see if I can work on that guy now. See if we can work on this one. And let's see, king a6 from moving Dutchman. And we're going to try knight to d3. A lot of maneuvering in this game. Rook takes e1 against J. Russell. Rook takes e1 back. Knight back. Eternal Warriors play knight back. I'm going to go pawn to b4 and force his rook back. Now, what to do here against J. Russell? Queen d4 check type of stuff. He's bothering my e pawn. So d pawn, excuse me. I'm gonna see. Yeah, I'm gonna try queen d4 check. Nejmadinov has gone queen a5. And I'm thinking of offering a trade of queens on d5 or something to clear this situation up. Or maybe I just go queen back to e3 or something. I think I'm just going to try queen back to e3 and play some solid moves here. Maybe there could be an exchange sack coming up at some point. Uh-oh, J. Russell, it was a solid game, but rook a7, rook e7 check. Uh-oh. That might have done it. And I think that did do it. Now, what's happened? Did do it. Okay, now what's happening with moving Dutchman? Moving Dutchman. I've been moving my knight around in circles here and haven't really accomplished a hell of a lot yet. I really don't know where my pieces belong. I'm very confused about this game. All right, rook e6 from ears. And now I'm looking for tricks. Rook f3 tricks. When is knight g4 going to be good? All right, I'm going to double up against ears on the e-file and see what comes of it. Okay, bishop g7 from Virtuoso. Now, this is a game I'm not sure. How do I... I'm down the exchange, but he's a little tied up. I don't know if I'm losing here, but I don't think I'm winning. Maybe it should be a draw, really. All right, I'm gonna go king f2 and see if I can get my king to somewhere and see what happens. Okay, bishop e6 from Nejmadinov, and I'm going to go knight e4 and see if I could try to mate him. Knight d7 from Eternal Warrior, and now I just have to make sure nothing funny happens to me on the c file. I feel like I'm okay. I'm gonna that f5 square looks like a nice place for a knight, so I'm gonna try to get there. So the one game where I was getting murdered, I mated the guy, and that was lucky. I think he had some tactics there. I think there was some real tactics. I thought there was a rook takes g5 at least a couple of moments. And the football is on. The Giants aren't playing today, thank God. Also, happy Thanksgiving to the Americans. And let's see, queen check from Jimmy B, and I will go king to f1, rook to d5 from moving Dutchman. And now what's the story here? What do I do here? I'm thinking about going rook takes g4. Does it do something? Rook takes g4. I'm going to try it out. And queen f6 from ears. And now, do I have anything funny against ears here? I'm looking at knight to d7. But on knight to d7, can he just move his queen somewhere? It's pretty interesting. I mean, knight to g4, he moves his queen somewhere. I think I'm going to go pawn to b4 and see if I can work over there a little bit. Okay, rook takes, removing Dutchman. Now, rook to c8 from Jimmy B. So I got Jimmy B to defend a little bit. And now, what's his next thing going to be? I'm gonna try. Now, I don't. If I go, I'm a little bit afraid here of g4 at the right moment. So my knight should not be wandering away. Can I go knight? If I go knight to g4, what's happening? I'm going to try knight to g4. I have him tied to c7 a little bit. Okay, now Nejmadinov. What's the way for me to do this? Knight f6 check. It's not so easy to mate him here. Maybe I should just go knight to d6 and liquidate some stuff. I think I'm going to try knight to d6 and liquidate some stuff. a4 against Duke Bishop. b5 from moving Dutchman. So pass pawn to bother me with. I'm gonna take it, and then I have to try to stop bothering his pass pawn. King takes b5 from moving Dutchman. Yep, and I'm gonna go. Let's see now. Can I make pass pawn somewhere? How I'm looking to see about rook to a7 makes his knight move, and to keep an eye on this pawn. I don't know, and also I have to get my pawns going. So I'm gonna try rook to a7 and then see if I could get some people going after that. What's going on here with Nejmadinov? He stacked the exchange on d6. All right, now what's happening here? Does he have any tricks? Bishop c5s? Well, I don't know. I think I'm just going to get out of the way with king over and stay up a rook. Okay, knight b6 from moving Dutchman. And now, when do I get my pawn going? I got to get my people going here. I'm gonna try. Do I want to try F4 or F3? How do these guys get going here? I'm gonna try F3 and see if I can get them going. I think I had much more than this somewhere in there, but didn't find it. Pawn takes pawn now. Do I want to make? I'm gonna try to get greedy here and try to make connected pass pawns and see if that does anything. Okay, A4 for moving Dutchman. And here comes his pawn. I'm going to go F4 and try and get my guy going. Or I got two guys, and he's got two guys, but his guy's a block, so I don't know. It's your typical race, and who knows? I have no idea what's going on. Okay, I'm going to let's see what to do against Eternal Warrior. I'm going to go bishop to A4 and try and tie him up from both sides. Queen C7 from Nejmadinov. And I'm going to try bishop to F6 and see if I could get some kind of mate thing going. King G7 from ears, and still nothing doing for me as far as I could tell with knight G4s and whatnot. Let me try. Maybe I can use the F4 square. I'm going to try knight G4 against ears and see if I could reorganize myself here a little bit. Let's see where his queen goes. I could always test and then go back and then try something after that. Switching off the E file to go over the C pawn, I don't know, maybe. Okay, rook H8 from Jimmy B. Did I forget about that? Did I forget about that? This is a good question. All right, let's see now. Can I run? Bishop to D1. Let's see if I can make a run for it. Okay, queen takes B3 from against Gerakorp. This is a very tough game also. We got knight G7 from Eternal Warrior. So he covered up that square. And now I'm just going to try queen to G4 and see if I can bother him on that side. Rook to D6 from moving Dutchman. And I'm going to go, let's see, do I have time? Yeah, I'm going to try to bring my king over to F3. We got Nejmadinov has gone bishop to C5. And I'm really trying to mate him hard here. I'm going to go queen to G5, trying to make a battery at some point. Bishop takes E5 from Gerakorp. I will take back on E5. Ears pinned me. Did not see that, and is it annoying or what? Can I live through it? Let's see what to do here. I go G3. I'm going to go G3 and unpin. That's the easiest thing to do. Okay, we got Gerakorp has gone D takes C4, and I guess I'm looking out to make sure that there's nothing up with knight to D2 stuff. So let's see. Is anything going on with knight to D2 stuff? All right, I'm going to go queen takes C4. Nejmadinov has gone bishop to F8. I'm going to go bishop to E5. Knight to C4 from moving Dutchman. And now we got to see. I'm going to try to push my people. I'm going to go F5. And now against Duke Bishop, what's happening here? What's the procedure for this move? I think I go A5 there. All right, we got ears to go queen F5, and let's see. I'm thinking about rook E5 ideas and stuff like that. Let me try rook E5. Nejmadinov has stopped. I thought I was gonna win there, but he stopped it. So I'm gonna go bishop back to F6, and then try to make the battery again. Okay, here comes moving Dutchman's pawn, and I'm trying to keep his pawns from moving. So let's see. I'm gonna go G4 and see if I can get my guys going. Queen F7 from ears, and now when do I get to pry him open? I would really like to do some prying here. Can I pry him with H4? Okay, now Nejmadinov is offering trades of queens. And I don't know why I just don't trade queens and, be up a rook. It seems like a kind of a sensible thing to do. And then take on b7 and then just take stuff. That would be the most. That's how I would win in a tournament game. Maybe just try to get the opponent to resign, right? Okay, what's happening here with Maj? Bishop takes d3 against Maj. She takes with the rook. I don't know. I mean, it's getting a little drawish now. If I go rook to d1. What does he do? All right, I'm gonna try rook to d1. Probably this game is a draw. Moving Dutchman has put his knight in the way, and this looks like a strong idea. And he's threatening to make queens, and he's got them going on both sides actually. So this one looks like a real problem, and I feel like I was just about winning somewhere in there. Let's see what to do here. Now my king is in the wrong place because the other pawn's getting pushed. So do I have to? Is it necessary to resign here? It might be a good question. I can't. Yep, I think I got to resign. All right, good game. And now let's see here with Nejmadinov. I'm going to just trade the rooks on d8. And against Virtuoso, what do I do in this game? I'm going to try. How does he get in here? I'm going to try to maybe open him up on the A file and get in. Okay, so we got knight d2 from Gerakorp, and I'm going to go queen back to e2 and defend a little bit. Rook check. King coming up against Jimmy B. Up a whole rook against Nejmadinov. Knight f6 against Eternal Warrior, and I'll just go queen to f3. Protect all my stuff, it looks like. King g7 from Nejmadinov, and I'm just going to go bishop back and just be up a rook. So one loss against moving Dutchman. Okay, let's offer a trade of bishops to Nejmadinov. Rook to b8 from Duke Bishop. And now let's see what happens here. Should I go knight? I'm going to try knight to a4 just to see if I could stop him. It's getting in a little bit of time pressure there. Bishop takes a4, rook takes a4. Let's see, does he go b5 and then I take on passant or something? And yep, always, I would say not always en passant, but most of the time en passant. Okay, what do we have here against Ears? Ears has gone queen to f3, attacking my knight. I get his knight, and he gets my knight. But what's going on after that situation? Let's see. Any sacrifices? Okay, I just went rook to d1 against Alote resigned. So I think I have one loss so far. Maj is thinking. I'm trying to get some b3 undermining business going on against Maj. I don't know if it's going to happen, though. Because there's some tricks. There's some tricks where possible queening tricks in some of the cases. Try to double rooks on the d file, maybe win a pawn. Let me see if there's some other games here. Maj is thinking. Okay, let's see. Now, I don't know why Brian Wood resigned after, but I don't know why he resigned. I mean, certainly I'm positionally better in the position where he resigned. But, I mean, I would have kept playing. The game with Maj is there. And let's see what else we got. Cap red. Yeah, I got e6 check. Cap Red, interesting. I think his position was solid, and then he went on some Queen A5 mission, and then that messed things up. I don't think it was necessary. I think, I think that line is not so good. Let's see. Dodgy, I went bishop to d4, and he resigned. Yeah, bishop d4 wins because if he defends his knight with rook to h6, I win his bishop with rook a8, and if he defends with bishop e7, I go bishop f6 and knight d6 and win like that. So, but that was like an all book, ridiculous, typical opening in that typical Botvinnik system if there ever was. Okay, Ears is moved. Ears says he's desperate. I don't know. Maybe. Let me see. Let's see what happens here. Rook takes, and then knight e5 makes him go backwards. I'm not sure that I'm accomplishing anything there. No tricks. Pawn takes pawn. Pawn takes pawn, and then pawn takes pawn. That's now is that some kind of trick? I don't think so. Pawn takes pawn. He takes my knight. So rook takes rook. It feels like rook takes rook is helping him. All right, I'm going to try. I guess. Am I going to try? I'm going to try rook takes rook. Let's see. We got Queen G2 check from Jimmy B. And now what the heck? I'm going up with my king. Does he have rook takes and then queen takes G4 with a mess of pawns? If I go knight f1, I get mated with queen f1. So knight f2 gets mated, so I have to go up with my king. Okay, now let's see what happens here against Ears. Can I put in an in-between move? Or what happens? In-between move. I don't know. I did it. We'll see what happens here. Okay, now what's going on here against Duke Bishop? I feel like my position is pretty solid. What's the next thing to do? I'm going to try pawn to b4, see if I can work on that side. Okay, rook takes d1 against Jimmy B. Queen takes f3 does. Okay, now against Maj, what happens on b3? King up for Jimmy B, and lots of confusion here. Rook back to G8. Virtuoso has offered me a draw. I mean, if Virtuoso wants a draw, I will take it. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing here, if I'm trying to win or going b4 or not. So if Virtuoso wants a draw, I'll take it because I'm down the exchange. I don't know. Maybe I could try something with b4. And try to open it up, but then, I mean, pieces could get traded, so I'm not entirely clear on that. So I don't know what to do there. I'm going to try b4. Let's see. We got Duke Bishop has gone knight to d7. Looks like a good move, and I think I'm going to try. I'm just going to defend myself with rook to c1. And see what's happening here. Okay, queen takes g4. Jimmy B's got a lot of stuff now, and what he's got passed pawns coming. All kinds of things are going on here. So all of a sudden, and it's only for the exchange, so that's pretty good. So I got to see what to do here. I'm afraid of these passed pawns. I'm gonna go queen c3. See if I can regroup a little bit. Okay, now what's happening here against Garrett Karp? Took on g2. I'm not sure that the bishop opposite colors I want to get involved in that, so it looks like I'll go king takes g2. Pawn takes b4 against Virtuoso. Rook c3 looks like a good move against Eternal Warrior. Now my queen is a little bit messed up there, so what do I do here? I'm going to try... I guess I'll just go bishop to b3, make sure all my stuff's protected. Now, Virtuoso's position, I don't know. I mean, I'm gambling here. I mean, I thought maybe I should be going. I'm trying to go c5. I have no idea if it's going to work. I don't even know if it's doing anything. But I figure he's a little bit tied up to the f6 square and the g7 square. So maybe that gives me a chance. We got to see. But he is a little bit tied up here. Okay, Queen G2 from Jimmy B looks like a good move. And I'm very worried that his pawns are going to get going. I'm going to go Queen to D3. And he's done a good job here with this. Got these pawns, and I don't know if maybe I could have taken a third piece there and just ignored him. I'm not sure. I was thinking about that, but I didn't do it. So I'm going to try to hold on here, see if I can tie him up a little bit. But it's turning into the old game Space Invaders where his pawns start creeping up. Let's see, Maj is still thinking. Cat Red's over. Duke Bishop is still thinking. He's getting into a little bit of time pressure. I was following the senior tournament because my old friend Jim Torjan played in that. Now, and did pretty well. And he's been playing a lot lately, so he's been doing well. Now, what happened here against Ears? I went knight takes h6. Okay, here come Jimmy B's pawns as advertised, and then I got to see how can I do something to stop these pawns. I'm going to try to harass him with my rooks. I'm going to drop the rooks back and see if I can bother him some. Rook b8 from Duke Bishop looks like a good move. And now I got to see here. I was gonna see if I got some kind of exchange sack here. All right, I'm gonna take on c5, and then we got to see what's going on here. Eternal Warrior, my queen has gotten into a strange situation here, and I have to see if I could get it out of there somehow. If I can't, it could be a problem. All of a sudden, my pieces got very weird in this game. All right, so I got to see what to do here. What is he threatening? I'm going to go rook to d1 and just try to stop stuff. All right, I'm going to try rook takes c5, sacking the exchange here. What's going on against Maj? Pawn takes pawn against Duke Bishop. I'm going to go bishop to g3. Can go rook to b2. And then what? And then I go queen back, and I have b1 covered. I don't know. It's an interesting thing to get those pawns going. Okay, here comes Jimmy B with knight f6. We figured that was going to happen. And now the e-pawn is hanging, or what? And then if he takes the e-pawn with the queen, he's got 3 connected pass pawns. So how do I deal with this one? And then 3 connected pass pawns. I'm gonna try rook to e1 just to delay it a little bit. Ears has thrown in knight to f4, which might be a good thing to do. Let's see now. What do? I have g4 covered. All right, I'm gonna take on f4 with the pawn. King e8 from Virtuoso, and now I got to see what to do. At least I've got him going backwards. I'm going to go bishop to b2, and we're going to see if my exchange is worth anything, if this exchange sack was worth anything here. Hard to say. Doesn't feel like it yet, but at least position is somewhat controlled, and I'm boxing his pieces out. So maybe I can manage a draw here somewhere. G5. Here comes Jimmy B's stuff, and now I think this is just too much here. It's all coming down, and I'm a little tied up. I'm looking at Rook F3. I don't know if there's any hope anywhere to try some other sort of thing, but I'm tied to the E pawn and I'm pinned. I think I might have had Rook takes C7 earlier when I could have gotten a lot of pieces, but I tried to defend my king, and then some Rook H8 showed up anyway, which I thought I stopped. So now I think it's just done. Is there any point in how should I continue here if I was going to? All right, I'm just going to try Rook B7. I don't think there's anything doing here. Queen. Okay, Eternal Warrior has gone knight to H5. And I'm going to go queen to G4. Rook to F8 from Virtuoso. And now, let's see, he's trying to reorganize himself here. When can I ever go C5 is what I'm wondering. It's a good question. When can I go C5? I guess that what I'm trying to do. And what is he trying to do? He's trying. Maybe is he going to try to get his king to G7 or something? All right, I'm going to try queen to A3. See if I can harass him. Okay, let's see what's happening with Ears' pawns here. All of a sudden, Ears is down some pawns, and what do I want to take these guys with? Let's try to be greedy and take it with the F pawn, and then we'll see if we could stop some checks, and maybe my king winds up being safer than his. Oh, knight E5 from Maj, with the fork trick. Very nice. Let's see. So I guess I'll go rook takes, and probably this is turning into a draw. Let's see what's happening here with Jimmy B. He moved his king up, and that's, of course, a good move. And I think that I've had enough of that one. So that was a good game there. So second game, all right, I'm going to go bishop takes knight against Virtuoso. And now what do I do against Ears? Rook to, let's say I go rook to E7. Is there any point in chasing his king up to there? Where will his king go? So rook to E7 looks like the right thing to do first. Okay, now let's see what's happening with Virtuoso. Can I go queen? Let's see. Do I want to go queen check? Do I want to go queen A7? All right, I'm going to try queen A7. I think I'm bothering him there. I'm not sure. The Maj game feels like it's kind of clearing up, and we're just going to have 3 pawns on the side. And I think that a draw is a pretty fair result here. I'm going to go rook check, and I think that could be a draw. So I offered a draw to Maj after rook C7, and that was a draw. So tough game. I was always a little better, but good defense. Queen B7 check from Gerakorp. I must go F3. Looks like we got from Virtuoso, we got bishop to C8. And now what do I do here to do something? I think I'm just going to try bishop to D4 and hang out, and maybe a draw makes sense. Rook to D5 from Gerakorp, and I guess I go rook takes D2, and he goes rook takes E5, and I think I'm okay here. King F8 from Ears, and now I was going to go rook to E3 and defend my king a little bit with my rook. Rook takes E5 from Gerakorp, and now let's see, what should I do? What should I do here? protect my pawns. I'll go rook up to c3, protect my pawns, maybe pressure him a little bit, but it should be a draw. Ears, I have rook to e3, g3. Now I'm trying to get my pawns going, and his king is a little open. So I feel like somehow this turned out all right for me. I'm going to try to creep my queen in. I think he has to take h4, but I think that should be good for me. Okay, knight back to f6 from Eternal Warrior. I don't have much choice. I'll go queen back to f3. I really tied myself up here. I should have been able to use the f5 square and do something here, but looks like it's we may be heading towards a draw by repetition. Rook b1 check from Duke Bishop, and he's given the exchange back. And how do I want to do this? Okay, bishop takes, and knight to. Hold on, we got to see here. He's got some, and yep, and then knight to g1 blocking. Okay, Ears is going, queen takes h4, and I'm going to go queen f3 check. And Eternal Warrior, I think we made a draw by a 3-time repetition. Yep, and I don't know that opening. I liked my opening, but it was, I mean, Eternal Warrior did pretty good. He put all of his pieces, defended well, and then that maneuver, putting the knight to g7, was very nice. That was a good maneuver. Let's see, Nejmadinov resigned. Nejmadinov just he seems like a good player, but he just doesn't. His openings are a problem. Okay, now what's the way to do this against Ears? I'm trying to creep in there. Trying to mate him. I'm thinking about queen e5, but I got to make sure that it happens the right way. Rook f3 check. I get a lot of checks now. Is he able to go to trade the rooks? Is that allowed for him? Is a good question. All right, so I'm gonna go rook f3 check and see what Ears is up to. I think I got him, but I'm not sure. I want to see where he goes. Does he have to go rook to? Does he have to do rook f7? Okay, let's see. We got queen to e8 from Duke Bishop, attacking the rook, and now I'm gonna see where do I go with my rook? Can I go rook to c4 and try and play a little defense here? Okay, Virtuoso's king has gone up to f7, and this is where I'm trying to figure out if c5 does anything for me. All right, I'm going to try it. I mean, I don't know. It's the only thing to do. Okay, rook f7 from Ears. I thought he had to do that. Now I'm looking at g6. And let's see. All right, g6. What does he do on g6? All right, I'm going to try g6. We got rook to d5 from Gerakorp, and let me see what's. So that was bringing the rook back into the game. I think that I'm going to go rook takes d5 and then work on that other pawn. Okay, now rook e8 from Virtuoso, and I'm going to try c6, completely locking. Okay, I'm going to try against Duke Bishop, rook to c1. Queen takes d5 from Gerakorp. And now what to do? I'm going to go queen to c2 and bother his pawn. h5 from Virtuoso. And now what's he trying to do to me here? He can open up the h file, but I don't know. And let me see if I can bother him here with my bishop and see maybe I could snatch something. Rook F6 from ears. Did not think of that. And now I must look to see it. Do I have anything here that's good? Let's see. So I'm going to try rook to G3, just protect it, maybe to push that pawn. Okay, bishop to D4 from Duke Bishop. What's happening here? If I take on C7, what is he up to? Here, did I mean, I don't know if I'm missing something here with taking on C7. I would like to. Rook to, I always have rook to B1, which is interesting. Knight E2, he goes queen takes E2, so I think that's going to be good for him. So how do I want to do this here? Is there a threat? Should I give myself some air? Let's see. Suppose I gave myself some air. I don't know. I don't know why, but bishop takes C7. Why is it not the right move? All right, I'm going to try bishop takes C7. I don't know what I'm doing there. Okay, so now virtuoso. I'm going to go bishop to A5 and see if I can snatch some stuff. The Garrett Karp game seems to be getting a little drawish. We have to see. His king's a little safer than mine. Do I just want to go rook C4 and hang out? Make a draw, possibly. So we got some good games going here. Rook H8 from Virtuoso, and he's got his rook is getting in there. I'm going to trade the queens. Let's see what happened here. A5 from Duke Bishop. He's pushing pawns. He's pushing pawns, and now I have to see what can these pawns be stopped. Okay, let's see. So if I go. Well, I got my own pawn to push too, so I'm going to try to push my pawn with D6 and see if that can bother you also. Okay, now how do I make my king safe against Garrett Karp? I'm going to try A4 and just play. I don't know. It's probably a draw. I mean, he doesn't have much time, but it's probably a draw. Okay, we got pushing from Duke Bishop, where everybody's pushing here, and now what's happening here? How do I stop these guys? Can't go rook takes rook. But hold on here, may have a move, and the phone's ringing again. Now, if I go D7, what happens? Rook takes, I make a queen. I think D7 might just win for me here. Okay, G5 from Garrett Karp, and I'm going to go pawn to E4. Traded queens against Virtuoso. Pawn takes pawn from Garrett Karp. Do I want to take it with the queen? Traded queens. Now, what do I want to tell you what? I'll tell you with the pawn. His king's coming up. I'm going to go E5 and try and box his king out. His king's coming up. I'm going to go G4 and box his king out again. Goes H5. I'm going to go H3, maintaining the box out. Have a pass A pawn. I don't know. What kings are locked out. My king's coming to the center before his is. So I should be better. I don't think it's a win, though. Okay, rook check from Virtuoso. And now we got to see what's going on here. All right, I'm just going to go. I have to be careful. Do I have to be careful where I put my king? All right, I'm going to go king to E1. King F7. I'm going to go king to F3. Yeah, you need to get it. Yeah.
Hello? Hi. 2 Tudor City Place and 7 KM. Yes, he has that. Okay. Okay. Bye-bye.
Yeah? I got all excited. Going out to dinner whenever the simul ends. Tudor City Steakhouse. It looks pretty good. Okay, here comes his king. Here comes my king. Rook to G3 from Virtuoso. And Rook H3 threatening my pawn. So this is the moment of truth to try to win or not. I think I'm just going to go king to F2 and make a draw. I don't know. Knight C4, Rook takes G3. Those two connected past pawns, I don't know if I could stop them with my bishop and my knight down there. And I don't know if I'm making a queen. I mean, if I was going to, let's see, if I want to try to win, I have to go king G1. Then he goes rook over. I'm going to win the D pawn, but I don't know. It's I find it hard to believe. Let me just go back and then we'll see. And then I'm gonna offer Virtuoso a draw. It's a mess. A computer could figure it out, but who knows what it is. Okay, good game there. And exchange sack. And okay, now let's see. What do I do against Garrett Karp? Can my king get around anywhere decent here? All right, I'm going to try to bring my king back. Hold on. What's his move? Sorry. It's his move right now. I don't know if I can drop my rook back because my king is near his pawn now, or what the story is here. I still think it's probably just a draw. I don't know if I put my rook behind his pawn, my pawn. Maybe there's some chances there for that king and pawn ending thing. So what move should he play here? I don't know. I mean, rook move, king move. Maybe rook a6 might be possible. And then rook takes c5 would just be a draw. That might be maybe rook a6 is the right move. Okay, he's coming over with his king. And I'm going to come over with my king. So a couple of losses. Probably was better in both games. Didn't find the right plans. I liked my opening a lot against moving Dutchman. And certainly my position was my opening must have been better against Jimmy B also, but always tough opponents in these simuls. Okay, so what's happening here with Garrett Karp is getting into time pressure. I'm wondering if my rook goes behind my passed pawn, if that ever does anything. The king and pawn ending with an outside passed pawn, although maybe that's something to shoot for. Still feels like it's a draw, though. Okay, rook to a6, and then let's see what's happening here. Now, if I go rook takes c5, and he goes rook takes a4, is he bothering me on then? That's a good question. Maybe he's turning it around here so that his king is good. So I got to be careful here. For instance, I could lose this with rook takes, and then he goes rook takes. I think that I have to go rook takes, and then I don't know what this rook ending is. Rook ending might be good for him. All right, I have to go rook takes c5. I must. And then he goes king up. Now he's taking my g pawn. I don't think this king and pawn ending, I don't think I could do it. He takes king up, and then I have to go king d4, and then I think he does that, and I think he's fine if he does that. So what's the right way for me to try to do something here? I got to try to harass his king, so I'm going to try rook to b5. He takes, and I'm going to try to bother his king with rook to b6. And if I could keep his king stuck in there, I should be able to make a draw. But I don't know. I didn't. It wasn't the. I must have had certainly a better way of making a draw than this, but not so easy. Okay, let's see what does he try to do now. So I want to box his king out, and I want to harass his king. I would like to harass his king also. So, and try to keep an eye on the G pawn also. My idea is just to go rook d6 and then back and just harass his king and pawn, and maybe that makes the draw. I don't think his king would be able to make it up to f5. If he did, I'd have to find out another way to bother him. I thought here now if he goes rook to g1 and pushes his pawn, I think my king is pretty close by. Maybe I just follow the pawn in, and then I win the g pawn, and he takes the e pawn, and then my king is nearby. Should be a draw. Okay, rook to f4 he did, so he wants to get his pawn going, and let's see what to do here. I don't think I want to go rook check and let his king up to d5. So I guess I'm gonna go rook d6 check and see if I could box his king out. Okay, now I'm going to try king to e3, slowing his g pawn for one move. Yep, king to f5, I go king to e4. Yep, here comes his pawn. All right, I'm going to try to get my rook behind it. So okay, his rook went behind it. Okay, and now if I go king to f4, let's see. All right, king to f4 seems like to be the right thing. Now I could go rook check first to make sure his king goes back, and then king to f4. No, there's no hurry. I think I should just go king up. And where does his rook go? Rook f5, and I think king g4 should be a pretty easy draw. King will not be cut off, so I think this should just be a draw now. If he was going to try to win, but I think I boxed his king out, so I think it was going to be okay for me with the g-pawn. Actually, I thought if he pushes g-pawn, maybe I could go rook check, force his king to the back rank, and then even bring my rook and king back and try to take his pawn, and maybe that leads to a drawn king and pawn ending. His king is a long way from e5. It's going to be on the back rank, so I figured that would be a draw. So this one I think is just a draw now. Okay, brings his king up. I'm just going to bring my king back. I'm just going to move my rook back on the third and hang out. Let's see what he does. Rook G4, and let's see. Do I go back, or do I I could just hang out with my rook down, and he checks me some. All right, I'm going to go. I think I can go rook to the bottom here. Looks like I have a million checks about to come, and that should do it. And draw by repetition. Well, it was a good game. His opening was good, and a very exciting game. All right, my score was 14 wins, 4 draws, 2 losses. Not too bad. And I hope everybody had a good time. And I thanks to Sandro, thanks to everybody for playing. And I'll see you guys in a few weeks in December. And I hope everybody has a nice holiday and see everybody soon and enjoy the coverage of the ICC's tournaments, and the Grand Prix just ended. So, all right, thanks everybody. Take care and have a nice night, and see you next month. Take care. Bye.